Hi everyone, I'm Amy Hanna from Respect 360. Today's topic of choice is respecting through connecting. One of the best ways to connect with other people is through communication, but not all of us are great communicators. A lot of times, especially in conflict, we have a tendency to go passive or aggressive. Very few of us are assertive communicators. So sometimes with passive communication, what people tend to do is they avoid the entire situation. If they can avoid the conflict, they avoid the drama. Whether that's as simple as ignoring the person or giving them the silent treatment or doing the dreaded text of the K. We've all received the K or we've all given the K at some point, but really what that is passive communication. It's just telling the other person, I don't want to deal with it. And if I don't have to deal with it, then you don't have to deal with it either, and then everything's going to be okay. Passive communication can be extremely disrespectful, not only to the other person, but also to yourself. And the reason that it can be disrespectful to yourself is because those feelings can build up inside of you. And when those feelings build up inside of you, they have to come out in one way or another. One of the ways that it comes out, and it's extremely damaging, is by keeping those feelings built up inside, and then all of a sudden it explodes. And then we're aggressive towards someone that we might not even mean to be aggressive toward. Aggressive communication, well, we know that one's unhealthy because it automatically goes against the other person. Whether that be yelling at the other person or slamming the door in their face, or maybe even being a little bit more subtle, where it might look like manipulating the person or trying to control the situation or control the conversation. Aggressive communication is unhealthy because it is against the other person. So if we know passive's not so great and we know aggressive is not so great, we've got to look at the one that is assertive. Assertive communication is the hardest form of communication. Aggressive's easy. We can yell at somebody, slam the door. Passive's easy. We can ignore the person. Assertive communication is very difficult to do because we have to learn how to not only speak the truth, but how to really talk to the other person without going passive and without going aggressive. Okay, so let's use an example. An example of assertive communication would be as simple as this. Let's say that you just found out that your boss shorted you $50 on your paycheck. If you go passive and you say, well, maybe they'll make it up on the next paycheck, I just won't say anything, but you're just out $50. If you go aggressive and you're mad at your boss and you say, well, they probably did it on purpose, they're against me, I'm gonna go let them know why I'm so mad and give them a piece of my mind, then all of a sudden you're gonna be out of a job. So you have to learn how to be assertive. It's as simple as going up to your boss and saying, hey, I was looking at my paycheck, I noticed that I was short of $50. Can you look at this for me? And if it is incorrect, I really need it to be changed, because if it doesn't get changed, then I'm gonna be short on my rent this week. Or let's put it in another perspective. Let's say that you're in class and you get back your test from your teacher and you look at your grade, it's a decent grade, but then as you're looking through the things that you got wrong, you notice that number 3 was marked wrong, but it's actually right. If you stay passive and you say, oh, well, it's still a decent grade, I'm just not going to say anything, then you don't get the grade that you deserve. If you go aggressive and you're mad at your teacher and you think your teacher's out to get you and you go up and you say something aggressive to your teacher, you're going to get kicked out of class. So you have to learn how to be assertive. Simple as going up to your teacher and saying, hey, I noticed number 3 was incorrect. Can you look at this for me? Because I think it was correct. And if it is correct and you just marked it wrong, could you change that for me? Because I really need to be able to get a good grade on this test because it's affecting my GPA. That's an assertive conversation. Difficult to do, but important to learn how to do. A simple tool that we use to help you through this assertive communication is this thing that we call the DESC. It's actually desk spelled wrong, but it's DESC. The D stands for describe, describing the situation. In the situation of the boss, it's just basically saying, hey, I noticed that I was shorted $50 on my paycheck. The E stands for express, expressing your feelings. What is it that you're actually feeling at that moment or in that situation, whether it's frustration or disappointment or whatever that might be that you're feeling. The S is specify, specifying your needs. What is it that you need either from that whole situation or from that other person? In terms of the boss, it's saying, hey, I need you to look at this paycheck to see if it was done incorrectly. And if it was, then I need you to change it so that I can get the money that I deserved. The C is for consequences. It's just basically saying, well, here's some of the things that could happen if this situation doesn't get resolved. In the terms of the boss, if you don't get the payment that you deserved, well, then you can't pay your rent for the month. And that's going to be an issue. Now, is that DESC foolproof? No, it's not. Because a lot of times you get yourself into this conversation with this other person that you're in conflict with, and you're staying really assertive, but they might go aggressive. The second they go aggressive, it's going to make you want to go aggressive too. Or maybe stay passive because you don't want to deal with the drama. Or let's say that they go passive. It's going to make you want to either go aggressive so you can get your point across, or stay passive too. Fine, you don't care, I don't care either. But that's an issue. Because it's important for you to learn how to stay assertive in all of these different situations, even though it's difficult. Just because it's difficult doesn't mean that it's not good for you. All right, so your challenge this week. When you're faced with a conflict situation, I want you to do what I call the take 3. Take 1 minute just to breathe and to calm yourself down. A lot of times when our emotions go through the roof, our logical thinking literally slows down. It's why when we have a conflict situation, after everything has kind of cooled down, we start to think through that conversation and we go, ooh, probably shouldn't have said that. And I probably shouldn't have done that. Because when our emotions go high, our thinking goes low. So take 1 minute, calm yourself down, and just kind of breathe and think. Take 2. Take 2 minutes to think through what it is that you want to say. A lot of times we get so emotional that we start to forget what it is that we want to say. And if you're that kind of a person, like I am, it might be good for you to sit down and just write some different things down. What it is that you want to say and how it is that you want to say it. Take 3. Take 3 minutes to have the conversation. A lot of times we get ourselves in this conflict situation, we want to handle it real fast and be done with it. But that other person might want to talk to you a little bit more. So take 3 minutes at least to have the conversation with the other person. So that's your challenge this week for respecting through connecting. And I'm Amy Hanna. This is Couch Conversations with Respect 360.